Hello, welcome back to the channel. I am Legacy Gamer, and today is a special video because it is my first venture into speaking about my most excited titles coming out between this fall and 2026. These are my 5 titles that I am most interested in from this summer's Gamescom. Roll the reel. So the first title on my top 5 list is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Let's see, it's been 3 years since the last big IP title, Lego Star Wars Skywalker, has graced us. And while I loved that title and have been a long-standing fan of the Lego series, I would say that game left me a bit wanting. While we know what to expect from the Lego games, a lot of it still feels formulaic. And I'm looking forward to this title. It seems to be a shakeup from the Lego norm. While we've gotten a lot of iterations of Lego Batman games from 2 and 3, and then we finally got Lego DC Villains, which I heavily enjoyed. This one pays homage to the trilogies like the Christopher Nolan film Dark Knight trilogy and other Batman films, with there even being references to Matt Reeves' Batman with the Batmobile from the most recent Batman film, The Batman. And we can see in the trailer penguin car chase scene that seemed to be well representative of the one we got from Colin Farrell in the film itself. I have confidence in Lego fleshing out these Batman stories and world. They rarely failed us. While I didn't play the most recent Lego Horizon, I heard that it did a good job at giving you a similar feel of the game. It did a good job telling the story of Aloy and her journey to becoming the Jurassic Park machine busting warrior princess slayer that she has become. I am interested to see how this game plays out, especially because it is foregoing the larger DC universe. So there's no Superman. We're probably not going to see Wonder Woman. We're probably not going to see Darkseid or any of the villains that we got in DC supervillains. This game seems to be more focused in the Dark Knight and his tale, and really giving us representations of the different type of Batmans that we've got through film over the years, with the developers even stating that they are taking into consideration all things Batman. That would include comics. So while we are not getting a traditional Lego game with the full, I don't know how many hundreds of character selections, this one's going to seem a lot more focused. I expect that each little brick will be more fleshed out, with dialogue and animations that are more representative of that character. It looks like it's going to shake up the typical Lego formula in things like difficulty. In a couple impressions from Gamescom, I've heard other channels cite that the developers are focusing on adding some level of difficulty. I would like to see how that plays out. I'm excited because I think that a level of difficulty is much needed, and it seems like a natural progression in the series. In a post-Dark Souls world where there are so many Souls-likes and games with increased level of difficulty, I think this was a natural progression for the series, and honestly inevitable. So I am so excited that the Dark Knight is the one that will get the honor to don this new Lego formula. So Lego Dark Knight, I think, is slated to release 2026. Let's keep an eye on this one and see how it pans out, shall we?
There's a warlock. There's more warlocks than other
All right, and then let's talk about number two, which is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. This one I'm really, really excited for. I'm really anticipating. I love action driven, heavy dialogue games where your decisions alter the course of your game, your gameplay, and how everything unfolds. I'm a huge fan of sex. Humankind Divided. I never played the original, but I did play Humankind Divided. I don't know how many times. I was obsessed with that game and all the different builds you can have. And while Cyberpunk 2077 is a fantastic title, I try to tell people, hey, there was an original, okay? There's an OG. But yeah, the sequel, this is a sequel to Vampire Bloodlines. And it will not play like the original. It's not going to be as focused on dialogue. And choices. It's going to kind of tread a middle ground between dialogue, choice and consequence, as well as action. So this is going to be an action-heavy title, come with a host of vampire powers that are connected to the different vampire factions that you align yourself with. So I think it's really going to be an interesting mechanic that we've not really seen in video games of recent time. I think there's going to be a total of 7 vampire factions, starting with the Bruja class, which focuses on hitting hard, fast, and really demolishing your enemies through brute force. And then you have the Tremere, if I'm saying that correctly, which is the witch clan. You can kind of consider them the sorcerers of vampires, and they really specialize in dominating their foes using blood magic. In the trailer, you really see a couple cool scenes with the vampire playing a Tremere using sort of like vampiric blood tendrils and spikes to demolish their enemies as well as blowing them up. So that's going to be cool. There's also the Ventur class I'm highly interested in because I'm kind of torn between the Ventur and the Bruja, as I like both power fantasies. I like to kind of crush my foes with my fists, but I also like to dominate in a little bit of crowd control type magic. So that will be cool. There are also some bonuses. There's a La Sombra and the Trador, which they are currently locked behind a DLC. Paid DLC. Yeah, some little sneaky monetization there. I smell a fox in my hen house. Yeah, we'll have to see how that one plays out. A lot of games are monetized. A lot of games focus on DLC and squeezing an extra buck out of you. But guys, your fan base has been waiting over 20 years for this sequel. I think you can include the original factions that were in the original game. I think that would be a wiser decision. But yeah, I'm really excited for that one. The last great vampire game I played was Vampire by Don't Nod, which I think was released in 2017. Don't quote me, but really enjoyed that one. I hope that this one oozes atmosphere and dialogue and choice and consequence like that one, because in terms of storytelling, Don't Nod is masterclass.
As your judge and jury.
The god of Priwen has called for a second great hunt of our kind.
This isn't just rage!
Alright, so at number 3, we have Dying Light the Beast. It is my third most anticipated title coming out this fall. Launches on September 19th. I am so excited for this one because it is right around the corner. And it is that immersive first person, high focus on combat. It's very visceral, very guttural, and just reactive. It looks like you can feel it. And I'm no stranger to the series, as I did spend 20 hours in the original. And really wanted to try Dying Light 2, but just wasn't willing to commit 200 hours to a game that wasn't a traditional RPG. Because I just don't find slaying zombies for 200 hours a lot of fun. But it looks like it is a little bit of a departure from 2 and more of a return to form to Dying Light 1, but with a twist as we see returning protagonist Kyle Crane return, but this time he's imbued with the beast powers, which is supposed to give him superhuman strength and speed far beyond what an average human can do. I kind of liken it to a super soldier or a Weapon X type situation, especially how it came about that he got these powers, as he was experimented on by an evil science for so many years until he decided he wanted to rip out and get revenge and kill everyone who had anything to do with it. But the graphics and lighting look far improved from the original game. The gameplay looks heavy and weighty, and the impact of weapons look far improved. The zombie dismemberment looks super realistic and intense, and kind of reminds me of a game I played more recently, and one would say that the series was inspired by, which was Dead Island. I played the second Dead Island, not all the way through, but well enough to get used to the game's mechanics and see everything to offer, because like this game, that one also had a mode where you can just rage out and I'll say go demon time on the zombies. And fourth on the list, we have The Outer Worlds 2. Clearly, I have a type. I don't have a whole lot of experience in the series, but I am interested for what it offers. Because like I said, games that are heavy dialogue driven, choice and consequence, and have a decent combat system. It can be passive. If you give me a good story, I'm all in. And this one, I played the first one in 2019, but only spent about 20 hours in that game. It just didn't have the staying power for me. It felt a little clunky, felt a little old in its graphics and how it played. But I very much like the sense of any character in this world, you can be killed, you can get in trouble, you can be locked out of certain quest lines for making certain decisions, and you can lose certain characters. So it looks like it's given a little bit of a Mass Effect vibe, as well as a Mass Effect budget and quality, because the graphics on this one look insane. I know there was a lot of internet controversy and backlash for the developers trying to charge $80 for this one, and that's I heard it may come out at $80. But we're just in an era where tariffs and games are just really expensive right now. So hopefully this one lives up to the hype. I think I am super interested in checking out the game for the trait system, because that was a mechanic that I really enjoyed in the first one. This one seems to have a little bit more emphasis on negative traits. So you can, at the beginning of the game, I know that you can accept a positive trait with no negative penalty, but if you accept 2 positive traits, you will have a negative penalty. So I don't think we've quite had anything like that other than the Outer Worlds one in terms of gameplay. So I'm interested to see how this is going to bring new things to the industry and shake it up. So the Outer Worlds 2, I believe, will come out late this October. So look forward to that and add that to your shopping list. And last but not least, we have Resident Evil 9 as our 5th and final most anticipated game revealed at this summer's Gamescom. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. I wish I played all of them, but my history goes all the way back to Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0 with Claire Redfield and the other protagonist that names escape me right now. I most recently played Resident Evil 4, starred by Leon Kennedy, which is arguably the benchmark for action horror titles. And the trailer seemed to indicate that this one is more in line with Resident Evil 7, with a less emphasis on the action and more on horror. The new stalker enemy in the demo might be the creepiest I've ever seen yet. There was a clip of her crawling out a vent and twisted and distorted, and yeah, it was frightening. I'll be keeping the light on after that one. The scene with the new protagonist going through a hallway, running from this new stalker type. And you can just see the lighting, the way the flames lit up her hair, the flames from her little lighter that she was using to navigate the level. Yeah, the graphics here, big upgrade. I know the last entry prior to 4 was Resident Evil Village, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed that combat. I don't want to say too much about Village because Resident Evil is just one of those games that I am not inclined to spoil at all. But I hope to see more of a connection to the protagonist that we got in Village, Ethan, and his daughter Rose. I really like that story. I like the supernatural aspect of it. And I would like to see Requiem draw some sort of connection, or maybe even see some cameos from that title. So Resident Evil 9 is another one to put on your list.